Hello, friends, and Good Time Zone. And what is up, gamers? Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Hope you're having the loveliest of lovely Mondays. Wow, I just literally, as soon as I unmuted the mic, I started to feel weird. So sorry if I seem a little out of sorts. Oh no. Anyways, hello. Oh no, are you well? I think I'm fine. I think I'm okay. Just suddenly, like, weird, like. Does anyone ever get this thing where, like, when you cough, you feel like occasionally, it's very rarely, but you'll get like weird sort of like sparkly nerve pain. I don't know how else to describe it other than it feels like sparkles are happening on your back when you cough, and then you see stars. Um, so I just had the sparkles, but independent of coughing. And I'm a little bit out of breath, but I'm okay. I'm fine. Anyways, hello. I did actually have a sudden upset just before stream started. In as much as and I'm so sad about this, one of my favorite cardigans, I just noticed two little holes in it. So I don't love that for me. Anyways, hello Luna, welcome in. Hello Dan, welcome in. Hello Turnip, welcome in. It's Robin time. It's Robin time, everybody. I haven't drawn as many Robins as I wanted to, and I'm really upset about it. There we go. That's better. I wanted to put another Robin here, but she wouldn't fit, cause it was a very round Robin, and it would have been too big for the space with the amount that I should have. There's all this there's all this negative space up here. I should have tilted this Robin like way over here, to use up the negative space over here, so that I would have enough room to put our. Is it too late to? But I don't want to delete this Robin because I think it looks very cute. Not making very effective use of my paper canvas right now. I mean, I could just find like I could just draw a different shape of Robin down here potentially. But I really wanted a. I found a lot of references. I've seen a lot of references of the pink Robin where it is just so spherical, and I really wanted an extremely spherical pink Robin. Anyways, I will explain what we're up to today in just a minute, but first of all, hi everyone. Luna says, so I sometimes get a sore back when I cough, and I sometimes get the sparkles in the eyes, but not together. Huh. I do know the Robin folklore if people are interested. Oh yeah, so the whole reason this came about was like, I wanted to do something seasonal, and you know, Christmas? For some reason, Robins are associated with Christmas in this country, and I did not grow up here, so I don't know the lore, but I do like Robins. And also, there's this Robin that is native to Europe, and then there's this Robin that is a completely unrelated species that is native to North America. But there are like gazillions of species of robins all over the world. This one in particular is going to be the... Oh, geez, what's it called? The collared bush robin, which is native to Taiwan. And I was going to draw an Australian pink robin here, but there isn't enough space. Maybe if I go fully sideways, I could get them in there. Like that? I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna bother me if I don't. Anyways, it could in fact be you already know and I'm misunderstanding. No, I fully don't know the lore. Because we don't have European style robins, and in fact, the North American robin I feel like is more associated with like spring. In Canada, it's definitely not a winter bird by any stretch. So yeah. Anyways, I like birds, can you tell? And I'm really annoyed at myself with poorly estimating the real estate on this page. I'm still not sure how to solve for it because I do want these to be relatively the same size. I'm thinking once I finish all of the robins, and I want to paint, like, I narrowed it down to 16 species of robin that I would like to paint. Okay? That was a narrow down from 28, which was a narrow down from every single species of robin I could find that has a name that we are aware of. So trying to aim for maximum diversity in terms of like size, shape, color, plumage, as well as geographical distribution. So eventually I'll have robins represented from like Europe and North America and various parts of Asia and Australia and sort of the oceanic region and also Africa. I think that's pretty much everywhere. I couldn't find any South American robins, but that's If anyone knows of any South American robin species, please let me know, because I would love to draw them. I've got... I've got... I think I've got a mild hyperfixation. Anyways, hello. Ooh, Turnip says, I gotta lurk while I listen to the same song on a loop for a project. But I'll have the stream on in the background. Cool. I hope you have a nice time. I hope that's a pleasant experience for you. Good luck. And thank you for the lurk, Turnip. I appreciate it. Okay, so Luna has some lore for us. Thank you. Mostly goes back to the Victorian era. I'm shocked and stunned. Everything does. Where postmen wore red uniforms, and so on Christmas cards, they'd often be depicted beside post boxes. No, that's so cute. Luna, that's so cute. Oh no, I love it. That's adorable. What the heck? There's also earlier folklore that associates with Jesus and Christianity, but that's not as nice in my opinion. No, the postman is way cuter. Also, I don't know if that species of, what's the distribution of the European robin? Would it have actually been, I can't believe I'm looking this up, but now I'm looking for European. I'm looking at its geographic distribution, because I don't think it would be. Is it found as far as, I mean, maybe it is found as far as, it could apparently make a non-breeding visit very potentially, but like slimly to the birthplace of the baby Jesus. But I don't think it's nearly as frequent a visitor as it is in the more northern areas of Europe, specifically sort of the northwestern Europe, where it is resident. Is this interesting to anyone but me? I don't know. I just think birds are cute. I'm not an expert in anything to do with birds, ornithology, anything like that. My special interest in birds is almost entirely, I just think they're neat. Because I know sometimes, there are like the different grades of special interest. There are the special interests where you have like a special binder where you keep all of your facts and information about the things, and then there are just the ones where you're just like, I just like to look at them because they're cool. It's like, okay, well, what do you like about them? They're neat. Okay, but like, can you tell me some no? But look at their little beaks. Aren't they the cutest? Like, that's the level of interest here. Anyways, Turnip says it's a storyboard for a theoretical music video. Ooh, animated music videos are a special interest of mine, so it's the best time for me. Hell yeah, I hope you have a lovely lurk. That sounds like an amazing project. It's so super fun. Hell yeah. Luna says the Christian one would make it more of an Easter bird. It's very different to the lovely postman lore. Oh! Okay. It's interesting to me, says Luna, one of the things that always gets to me in Mary Poppins is that the robin depicted in A Spoonful of Sugar is an American oh my god, you're right, it is an American robin. It doesn't make sense for the London set. What is it doing there? Luna, it's an invasive species. Should we be concerned if there's more than one? If there's more than one, they might proliferate, and they have no natural predators in this region. It's gonna be, oh man, it's gonna be like the green parakeets in Amsterdam. Though that being said, I don't know how the local Amsterdammers feel about them, but when I was in Amsterdam, I saw this massive congregation of the parakeets in a tree near our hotel, and they were like making all this noise and flying back and forth between a couple of trees, and I'd never seen that many parakeets in the wild before, and I was just so tickled by it. Like, they were so lovely, and it was a magic moment for me. It was, I think, our last evening there, and we were eating our ice creams, which were these amazing ice lollies that were like pear flavored, and it was like pear puree that they froze into a stick. It was so good. I wish they had them here. But yeah, anyways, at some point I really want to paint some green parakeets hanging out in, like, sort of on a bridge near a canal or something in Amsterdam. Because I haven't really done any Amsterdam paintings, and that was my first visit to the Netherlands, and I loved it so much. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. It was about 4 or 5 months ago that I was there, and I had such a wonderful time. Also found a bakery near our hotel that did gluten-free croissants that were really good. Like, really good. Like, I wouldn't, if I had to guess anything unusual about the croissant, it would be the fact that it's vegan, but not the fact that it's gluten-free, which is really good, all things considered. Anyways, Sonic Man, hello, welcome in, how you doing, Sonic? It's lovely to see you. Ooh, Lego City Undercover. Was that, and the end credits was Walking on Sunshine, Mikachini and the Waves. Oh my god, oh my god. When I was, okay. Don't talk about your ages, chat. But when I was a youngin', we had this compilation cassette that we would listen to on car trips that I think was one of those... Back in the day, when you got petrol from a petrol station, you would sometimes get, like, a free gift with purchase. And the free gift with purchase was, like, a compilation of popular songs. And one of the songs on it was Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves. And it made me very, very, very happy. Luna says Mary Poppins summoned them in for that song in particular. Maybe, you know what, maybe the Robins were like, in Mary Poppins were like the pet, the very well-trained and will not become an invasive species pet of, oh, what was his name? What was his name? What was the man's name? Oh no! Dick Van Dyke's character! Why have I forgotten his... Like, I'm just cycling through, like, you know, like, English men's names in my head, that, and I know it's not any of them. It's like, I'm like, Joe? No, it wasn't Joe. It wasn't... Bert! That was it! For some reason my brain was stuck on Ned, but I knew it wasn't Ned. I think you're right, it was Bert. But, like, oh man, his accent, like, I love him. I love him so much. He's incredible in that movie, but his accent is terrible, and it's so charming, which makes me think that he was, in fact, that, like, his character was, in fact, like, born in America. And, like, moved to London as a child, so he's picked up the accent but doesn't quite have it right. That's my headcanon for Bert in the Mary Poppins movie, which I do absolutely love, by the way. It is the scene with the scene where it, like, blends live action and animation together with, like, the penguins and stuff is so beautifully done. Like, the artistry on that film is stunning. It's so good. I love it so much. But yeah, goodbye, Mary. Don't stay away too long. It's just like, oh, mate, no. But also, you are a human treasure, and I love you. I love him. He's fantastic, and he's so good in that movie. But the accent just tickles me so much. Luna says, I grew up in the North, so I was older than I cared to admit before I realized the accent was a bit off. Oh, Luna, I was like over 30. But I mean, I saw the film as a child, and then I saw it again as an adult, having moved to southern England, or southernish England. Am I in southern England or central England? I think technically I'm in the south, but, like, I feel like I'm in the bit of the south that's just butting up against the Midlands, really. Anyways, it doesn't feel like I'm in the south. But, what was my point? Oh, yeah, growing up, you know, sort of in Canada, like, it didn't occur to me at all. But moving to England and then moving to, like, within about an hour and, you know, a bit's drive of London, certainly, I'm like, you don't say, Bert. But I love it. It's just, it did stick out to me a little bit. But, anyways. I do, oh man, now I want to drop parakeets riding a bicycle. 2 parakeets riding a tandem bicycle because they're in love. That would be so cute. I guess the question is, are they human-sized parakeets, or are they, like, to scale? Like, are they parakeet-sized on a teeny tiny bicycle? riding across a bridge over a canal in Amsterdam, which is... that city is charming as heck. I think I had, like, a weird expectation of what to expect from Amsterdam before going there, because, like, you know, I guess certainly in my younger adulthood, a lot of the tourism that I heard about from people about visiting Amsterdam was like, oh, the sex museum, the torture museum, weed pot, and red light district, and we didn't, like, none of that interests me. Eddie, thank you so much for the lurk. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful lurk. But yeah, like, you know, weed pot, sex museum, none of that interests me. I don't want to take a selfie in front of a giant model willy. Like, I mean, you know, like if that's your bag, then cool. But I'm not really interested in most of the tourist things most places I go. To be fair, but what was I interested in? You know, like looking in a vintage clothing store, looking in vintage camera stores, visiting the photography museum, finding somewhere that makes gluten-free stroopwafels, and then finding out by the time I get there that they've sold out of their gluten-free stroopwafels and I can't get any anyways. And I ended up buying a pack of gluten-free stroopwafels from the supermarket, which I haven't eaten yet because they're best before next year, and I was saving them for a special treat. I also brought back a giant ass box of chocolate sprinkles. And in traditional Dutch manner, I plan to use them to as a fun decorative exterior coating for a batch of Brigadeiro, which is a probably horribly mispronounced Brazilian chocolate truffle, which is like my favorite thing in the world. Oh my god, it's so good. Anyways. Luna says, "Don't get me wrong. I'd be interested in that museum probably, but my interest in visiting Amsterdam one day is largely because it's very lovely. Apparently, it's so beautiful. Okay, number one, it's so beautiful. Number two, it is an exceedingly walkable city because there's like very few hills. Because it's very flat country. It's like under sea level. So love that for it. And also, if you have any interest in metro system, the trams are great. I love the trams. You can go past some pretty things on the trams. The trams are good. I like the trams. Also, if you don't speak a ton of Dutch, it's very accessible. What else? Pancakes. We've got pancakes. I recommend pancakes. In fact, I went to, on our first night there, we went to, just to keep things nice and simple, we went to a restaurant that I saw on their website, did gluten-free pancakes. And so we went to a pancake restaurant that did gluten-free pancakes, but it was quite close to the Central Railway Station. So I think it was like fairly tourist friendly as a result, which meant that when they brought our bill, they also brought us each a little key fob that had a little wooden shoe on it that said pancakes. And I know it's like a tacky tourist thing, but I don't care. It's so cute. A tiny wooden shoe that says pancakes that came with my pancakes. How cute is that? Anyways. Luna says, yes, I love that. Like, we went on our honeymoon to Rome and it's stunning there, but it's famously on hills and warm even in November. Yeah, there are a few places that I kind of, that get lower and lower on my to-go-to list because it's hilly. Like, oh man. So, I'd originally planned to go to Stockholm this past summer for our holiday, but it just got way too expensive. So we ended up going to Amsterdam instead because it saved us a couple $100. Just kind of on a whim. We were like looking at trying to book things for Stockholm, and I was like, do you want to see how much it would cost to go to Amsterdam? And Sledge was like, yeah. And so we did, and then we ended up going there and having an amazing time. But the thing is, there were several locations in Stockholm that I was like, oh man, I really want to go to there if we go to there. Maybe we'll go there next year, I don't know. But I was like, that's up and then back down a steep-ass hill. Oh goody. Well, my calves are gonna hate this. I'm over 40. Don't talk about your ages, chat. Sounds like they'd clog your arteries, says Dan. I mean, there was a lot of cheese on my pancake, to be fair. Turnip says, I'm lurking to say that key ring sounds amazing. Listen. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Dan says, what? Stockport's not that expensive. You know, oddly, I've been through Stockport so many times, but I've never actually been to Stockport. Not a once. I lived in Manchester for like a year. Never been to Stockport. I think possibly because it was so close by, and when things are like right next to you, you're like, well, it's right there. I could just do it whenever, and then you never do. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'll be back in just a second. Oh my goodness gracious! Can I find him? Can I find it? Is it still in? Is it still here? Yes. Y'all, Okay, I'm gonna move the. It's a little wooden shoe, and on the little wooden shoe, you can see there's a little picture of a pancake chef flipping a pancake, and it says pancakes, Amsterdam. I love it so much. This has nothing to do with robins, but I'm having a nice time. Anyways. I'm not sure I'd recommend it as a holiday destination, says Dan. No, I'm with you. I'm not gonna go spend a week in Stockport. But if I was in Manchester, I might just nip down on the public transit and be like, what exactly exists here? Because I genuinely don't know. Yeah, Stockholm is on my list. There's the Hat Museum. For some reason, my brain always went, oh, there's a shoe museum there. But no, that's because there's a shoe museum in Toronto that I never visited when I lived near there. There's a hat museum in Stockport that I never visited while I was there. And I love a good museum dedicated to like a single semi-esoteric topic, like a hat museum. That's heckin' crazy. I love it. There's a pyramid. There's a pyramid. The only pyramid that I can think of besides like the Egyptian ones is somewhere in America there is a Bass Pro Shop that is inside a giant pyramid. Which is wild to me. Like what? Isn't it just a place where you go get your like outdoor like fishing supplies? Wacky. It's why the football team is nicknamed the Hatters, says Dan. Oh, that's stinking cute. That's really cute. I love it. Bless. Ugh. Well, maybe someday. I don't know. Moderator / spouse and I have talked about the possibility of at some point leaving our city of residence and moving somewhere else. But that's obviously dependent upon things like work and all that jazz. I've got paints, by the way. I'm taking these paints out for now because, crucially, they have kind of a reddish orange, and they also have several shades of brown, which I will need for these two. The two robins that I feel like people in this part of the world know the most about. Junction 1 of the M60 is known as the Pyramid Roundabout. It's a big glass building that gets called the Pyramid, says Luna, on account of being pyramid-shaped. That'll do it. Just goes to show how I never drive anywhere. I don't know how to drive a car, and I've only ever been through on the Tren. Which is fine, because I like a train. I like a train situation. I like a choo-choo. Anyways, oh man, speaking of, so I'm traveling to visit my family-in-law for Christmas this year. We're heading down on Christmas Eve, but it turns out that the train that, because my moderator / spouse has to work on Christmas Eve, which is so Scroogey and mean, no one's gonna be there. No one's gonna need him. He's just gonna be sitting around with nothing to do. But he's not allowed to not be there. It's stupid. It's so stupid. I'm so mad at them. Anyways, but it means we have to, like, catch a train on Christmas Eve. Like, the eve of Christmas. Like, it is the evening of Christmas, on Christmas Eve. Not the eve before Christmas Eve. To go up to his parents for the thing. But this, it does me a concern, y'all. Because the train that we had selected, that he's able to get to after he finishes work for the day, is the last train running for the day. And y'all, I'm scared. I'm so scared that something's gonna go wrong and they're gonna be like, we're sorry to announce that the only train is canceled. If you were planning to go to Leamington Spa or wherever, you're just effed. Get in the bin, you losers. You don't get to spend Christmas with your family. F you. So I'm gunning for us to maybe be able to catch the train before that one, or like plan to catch the train before that one, because I'm so scared that we're gonna end up in a situation where the trains just, like, poop their pants and we just don't get to have a Christmas. Luna says, surely they'll do everything to make sure those keep running. They must appreciate how important they'll be. I'm sure they do, and like I don't begrudge the people who like work on the railways at all. They're wonderful and doing an amazing job. But with that being said, I swear to gosh, like 50% of the times we go visit the parents-in-law and then come back, at some point on the journey, a train is canceled or something goes wrong. And yeah, I'm scared. I'm a little scared. There was, I think, there was one year where, our train was, like, severely delayed, and then the next train to come along was so full that, like, they couldn't actually get any more people on the train. The train after that was almost so full they couldn't get anyone on the train. We were packed in, like, sardines in the vestibule. Like, there was no room to... There were people just standing in the bathroom because there was no room to be anywhere else. And if someone actually had to use the bathroom, they all had to sort of, like, squish out, and we were, like, smashed against a bunch of strangers for, like, an hour. And it took extra long to get home because the train was too full and there was no room, so we had to, like, get off to let people off at different stops and then get back on again. Anyways, I'm pretty sure I caught COVID on that train. So then the following year, our train was severely delayed and or canceled or whatever, and we had to wait a super long time for our transfer, at which point I was just like, okay, you know what, we're not getting on that train. We are taking a different train. We are taking the Pokey Local train that stops at Banbury, and we're just going to hang out at Banbury for however long it takes for a train to go from Banbury to Oxford that's the Pokey Local train that goes to all of the stops. And I was right, because instead of being rammed on a train with 500,000 people and catching COVID again, we just sat at the little, like, Costa Coffee at Banbury Station for, like, an hour and got home at, like, 10 p.m. But at least we got to have hot chocolates while we waited. So, yippee! But that being said, it just happens too frequently that something goes wrong, or there's trespassers, or the weather's super bad and that causes problems, because, you know, like, it's one of those things where if you don't realize how disruptive it actually is when they say that, like, there's leaves on the train tracks, that's causing delays, that's, if you don't know what that actually does, it sounds, I think, really inconsequential, but what it actually means is that, like, you know, when leaves are, like, wet and get sort of smashed, they go very mushy and slippery. And if the tracks are extra slippery because there's leaf mush on them, that might cause the train to not brake properly. You don't want that. That's kind of bad. So actually, it sounds like so trivial, like, oh no, some leaves blew onto the train tracks. It's like, no, seriously, it sounds stupid, but it's actually kind of important. Anyways, hi Joe, I'm talking about the trains. Welcome in. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea because my coffee is stone cold and my tea is Starry Night. Oh man. The thing about Starry Night tea is that it tastes like a tree. It's so evocative of tree. In a good way, but it's very much evocative of the essence of tree. I think that's like the combo of, there's like lavender and eucalyptus in it, both. It's really nice. Anyways, this is from my advent calendar, but I did actually just buy, like, a sample, like, 20-gram bag of it, and I'm very excited. I love sample bags, because I get to drink fun tea, and they're inexpensive, because I'm poor. Anyways, ooh! Do you have the advent calendar this year, says Luna. Yeah, I dithered a lot on whether or not to get it, but I ended up getting it in the end because everything else I could think of as, like, an alternative advent calendar to get that wasn't just, you know, chocolate, was even more expensive. And I was like, nah, no, this'll do. Anyways, Joe just finished their first day at their new job. Yippee! I hope it all went well. I hope you had a nice time. I'm very excited. They brought it back from limited edition. I'm so happy. Because it's so yummy. But, yes, nice. Luna says, it's become a bit of a tradition that my dad gets it for me for my birthday at this point. Oh, that's really sweet. I love that. That's delightful. Hmm. Luna says, I have a very conveniently timed birthday for Advent. Happy belated, my friend. Hell yeah. Should I actually try and paint? Okay, let me go rescue my tea. I'll be back. Alright, have a nice tea break, Joe. Also, what are you drinking? Let me know. Anyways, so my coffee is done. My coffee, by the way, was... I'm gonna have to look up where it's from, because now I don't remember. Well, I know it's from New Ground Coffee, which are a relatively local roaster to me. They're based in Oxford. But the coffee itself, not sponsored. I just think they're yummy. The coffee itself is not currently in stock on their website, so I can't tell you, but I think it was from Uganda. Anyways, but you can't really go wrong with any coffees you buy from them, so if you decide, I really want to try this coffee, you'll probably like it. Assuming you like coffee, of course. Oh, like this Kenyan one is delicious. We did get their seasonal, we did get their seasonal Christmas coffee as well, obviously. It comes in a tin. It's very silly. I love it. Anyways. Right. Now, let me catch up with chat. Joe says, or inconvenient, I get Advent stuff for mine and I'm not a fan. Oh no! Can you just ask people not to give you, not to give you Advent stuff? December wait a second. Joe, that's right. Your birthday was I'm an idiot. Your birthday was yesterday. I know this because I was watching your birthday stream. It was Joe's birthday stream yesterday. I hope that you had a lovely time. It was very fun. Whilst I was there, they were playing a Carmen Sandiego video game, which was very... I played a Carmen Sandiego video game when I was, like, this tall. It was a lot more old school, but that being said, this one had a lot of the very sort of throwbacky looking old school graphics in it as well, which I really appreciated because it very much was in the spirit of the classic game, which I love. Anyways, the game came first, then the TV show. Yes, I did watch the TV show as well. Man, that show slapped. From like the in-house band that was like the a cappella group, and like the host was great, and then there was like the lady whose name I forget. It's so dang good. I also played Cluedo and beat the computer. Hell yeah! Congratulations. I'm sorry I missed the Cluedo, but I did enjoy the Carmen Sandiego. Anywho, I'm gonna give Joe a shout out because it's Joe's birthday Boxing Day. And it's my prerogative because I'm the streamer and I can do that. If you're not following Joe, you should go do that. Joe plays cool games and stuff. Joe is an excellent finder of games that I never would have heard of otherwise. You should go check her out. Anyways. I'm sorry there's no bird here. Maybe I'll try and like hastily draw something during the break. Also, I'm sorry that some of these sketches are a little bit scruffy. I did a ton of redrawing on this one specifically, which really should be like this. I had to do it at quite an angle, but did I show you what the colored bush robin? We could actually take a little looky-loo at the different varieties of robin. So I'm gonna pull up some tabs, and then you can look at robins. Not collared as in collard greens, collared as in bush robin. Heck. I can spell, I swear. But yeah, I love a robin situation. I think they're all real stinking cute. And I hope you like them too. And I can't stop hiccuping, jeez. I will also pull up the robin that I didn't manage to get finished a sketch of for today because I couldn't get it to fit, but oh man, I love them. They're one of my favorites because I'm predictable. They're so stinking cute. Anyways, hold up. Wait. It's not going to work if I don't take you to my Instagram, because that's the website I have it set to go look at things for, and it still isn't working, so just one second. Bear with. There we go. Okay. Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, I periodically post with absolutely no particular regularity, but I do try and post on the regular. I also try and answer my DMs on the regular. But I also try not to look at the app every day because it is a time vortex if I'm not careful. Anyways, Luna says, one of my favorite things about robins is they're very suggestible when it comes to light. Sometimes they'll sing at night if they're close to a particularly bright street lamp. Oh, Luna, that's so cute. They're such good birds. Oh, bless their little bird feet. That is adorable. I love that. That's so blessed. Anyways, here is the robin that most British people are familiar with. With its absolutely adorable little face, its orb-like shape, and I do see them occasionally in my neighborhood, and every time I do, I declare, hello, bobbin, because they are the cutest, and I love bobbins. They're just so cute. Anyways, this is an American robin. These are the robins that I grew up with back in Canada. I think they're also very cute. They are very ubiquitous around sort of the area where I grew up. And they are in no way related to the European robin. They were just named robins because the like reddish orange tummy reminded European people, settler, colonial whatevers, of the robin that they knew from back in Europe, so they called it a robin. That's not confusing at all, friendos. But then there are also just other types of robin that exist elsewhere in the world. This is the collared bush robin, which is resident in Taiwan and has a very impressive set of eyebrows. And I just think their coloration is really interesting, and I just think they look very, very cool. Because they don't really have... They've got, like, sort of a yellowish breast, but then they just have this, like, streak of orange just above their wings, and a very, very distinctive eyebrow. And then this is the pink robin, which is native to Australia. There are a ton of robins in Australia, New Zealand, New Guinea, that sort of region of the world. So many varieties of robin, and they are ever so cute. They're so cute. So cute. Anyways, but yeah, so those are some robins. And now you've got, I love the pink robin, little pastel goth. Yes, he is a little pastel goth. Yes, he is. Aw, Luna says, Sokka says, I'm like a robin because it's easy to make me sing. Oh, bless. That's adorable. Burb, says Joe. Hell yeah. Tummy birds, as we call them. They are tummy birds. I love them so much. Cute. Oh, my heart. I kind of want to fix the beak on this one because I feel like it looks really derpy. And it should not look as derpy as it does. So I'm going to slightly try and amend the beak shape. I think it's a little bit too... I made it... The first time I drew it, I made it a little bit too sharp. And then I overcompensated by not making it sharp enough. My pencil's not sharp enough. That's what's not sharp enough. Hold up. Okay, now oh no, it has no mouth, but it must toot. It must beep. I don't actually know what would you describe the call of an American robin? I don't know, but, I'll fix that. I'll give you your mouth back. Don't worry. It still doesn't feel perfect, but it feels a little bit better. Like, it wants to be quite pointy on the end. Can I make the end pointier? But maybe now I'm making it too... No, it is longish, though. It is definitely longish. I think it'll track better once I've actually, like, you know... Once there's color on it, I think it'll make a lot more sense. So I'm gonna leave it like that for now, in any case. we'll just deal. Anywho, again, I'm sorry I don't have a drawing, like a sketch of the pastel goth pink robin, which was supposed to go here, but I should have like tilted this one this way so there was more space in this quadrant, and I didn't. So I've just been talking for 53 minutes and I haven't actually painted anything, so I don't think we're going to finish 4 bird paintings today anyways. Did I mention up top I narrowed down my selection of birds I want to paint to 16 robins. I'm hoping to make it into a sticker sheet. I don't know if anyone's going to want a sticker sheet of 16 robins, or maybe just a big art print. Maybe a bit of both. I don't know. But, but here we are. I ended up sort of narrowing it down by making myself a little, like, collage graphic of just, like, pictures I could find of a whole bunch of different robins, and then deciding based on sort of geographical distribution and also diversity of, like, colors and that kind of thing, which ones I would paint in this round of robin paintings. Who knows? Maybe I'll do another one someday. But Luna says, I don't know how enthused you yourself and Sledge are by socks. We wear socks, but if you have a Socktopus shop nearby, they might have Robert Fuller socks. The one in York does, but his studio is quite close to York, so I don't know if they're specifically there because they're local. But he's an artist, and his work is all birds and wildlife. Ooh! I would like some bird socks. Maybe when I have to go back to the center of town in about a week and a half to pick up a roll of slide film I've had developed, so maybe I can pop by the sock shop while I'm at it. I usually don't buy myself a lot of socks because it's fairly inevitable that I'll get socks as a Christmas gift, but I might need to make an exception. Anyways, because that sounds really cute and lovely. Anywho, I was just gonna list out the birds that I had planned to paint. New Zealand black robin, northern scrub robin, I believe, European robin, pink robin, golden bush robin, Japanese robin, Siberian blue robin, white starred robin, Ryukyu robin, which is from the islands of the same name in Japan. Oh damn, what's the name of you? The green-backed robin, the American robin, the South Island robin, shoot, I forget the name of it. Oh no. Oh no, what's the name of that robin? It's got a yellow tummy and it's gray and I forget the name of it. Shoot. The orange-breasted forest robin. I'm forgetting the name of them. The collared bush robin, which you've got here, and then 2 of them that I forget the name of. I don't have my, like, list of bird names document, unfortunately. What if I just look up what's a gray robin with a yellow tummy? I think it's the western yellow robin. Oh my god, none of this, it doesn't matter. This is stupid. The other one I think is the lesser ground robin. I'm gonna look it up just to make sure that I'm remembering its name correctly, but I think it's the lesser ground robin. There is nothing lesser about it, by the way. It is so cute. It is so cute. Hold up. You need to see how cute this bird is. I'm sorry. I swear I'm gonna paint, but this is the lesser ground robin. How cute is this friend? How adorable. I love them. Anyways, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm gonna paint. Thank you for tolerating
Oh hell yeah, Sledge Callier just subscribed. 57 months, that's almost a year.
Honey Bunch! Sledge, my dear, thank you so much for 57 months of sub. That is so close to a year. You are like right on the cusp of a year. Thank you so much. Enjoy your emotes and stuff, which reminds me, I have a free emote slot for an animated emote. I need to think of an animation to go in there. If anyone has any super strong feelings about things that could conceivably go in an animated emote, please let me know. But I'm formulating here, so Sledge says, hi, I'm at work, so shh, I'm working. Okay. I'll try and be quiet. Except I will say, if Sledge's supervisor is listening, he's doing a really great job. He's doing amazing, and he should definitely be on a higher job grade, doing the things that he's doing right now. Maybe like a couple got job grades up. Maybe you should give him like a year's paid sabbatical. He's doing a really good job, and reward him. Deserves a pay rise, says Luna. And a bonus. Yep. I wholeheartedly agree. I genuinely do. He's very good. Okay. All right. Can I actually, am I gonna actually paint something? I'm gonna paint something in, damn it. I'm gonna paint what I know. Crazy. On a painting stream? Painting sounds fake, but I am. I'm just gonna pull up a reference on my phone so it's not blocking chat. But I'm just there's some yellow on. I'm gonna do the yellow bits first, I think, because the American robin has a yellow beak, so I think I can just fill that in. Actually, which so I've got two different palettes. And I think I actually want the yellow from this palette. I am going to be using both palettes, incidentally. Which I don't normally do, but because this isn't like a landscape piece, this is me wanting to use the best, most representative colors for each thing I'm painting. So actually, I'm cool with swapping back and forth between two different palettes. It is the same type of paint, so it should they should translate fairly well between the two. So I'm not worried about that, at least. But yes, okay. Oh yeah, that's a nice, like, sort of goldy looking yellow, which I think will work well for our robin's beak. Yay! Now it just looks like a seagull! No! Seagulls are not this shape. Why does it look like a seagull? Uh-oh. Oh. Oh no. The other thing I was gonna look, there is some yellow on the collared bush robin as well, so I was gonna get how does the shade of yellow compare? I think it's a bit more of a it depends on the photo. Some of them are quite a goldy yellow as well, actually. Let's see if I can find a nice clear photo where you can see its their coloration quite well. Like that's quite a goldy looking yellow, I think. And then an incredibly bright orange. Sledge is back to work. Have a lovely rest of your workday, sweetheart, and come home soon. I love you and I miss you and I love you so much, you beautiful, beautiful person. I love you with my whole heart. Anyways, for anyone who doesn't know, Twitch user Sledge Callier is my spouse. We're married. Hence the outpouring of love there. Not that I don't also love my friends, but he's my best friend who I live with and kiss sometimes. I'm sorry, that was a little personal. I did TMI. No, I made myself shy. Oh no. Remember, chat, this is a fun social space, but it is also a public space. So do be mindful not to dox yourself, and don't talk about your ages, and anyways, I forget where that sentence was going. Just don't dox yourselves, and remember that anything that you say here is technically in a public forum, and anyone might be lurking. So, for goodness sakes, maybe don't TMI as hard as I do. It's okay if I do it. I'm the streamer, but I'm trying to protect you all. Anyways, Luna says, me and Sokka always commending each other in HL. Wait, what's the Hull? Is that Hull? I've never been there. Unless you mean the one in Canada. Anyways, oh shoot, an ad break's coming up. Heck. Okay. We're gonna have a little quick BRB. I will be back very shortly. You're not gonna miss anything, but you might see some ads if you're not subbed. I do apologize for that. But we do have a break at this time so that no one misses anything because of the ads, because that doesn't seem fair. So we're going to take a little breaky-do, have a drink, have a stretch, do all that jazz, and I will be back very, very shortly. So BRB, everybody. Back. I'm so sorry. I decided to try drawing the tiniest, stupidest little orb of a pink robin. So now you have to watch me sketch for a minute, because I'm not quite getting the shape right. They are so... or at least they can be incredibly spherical. Like it doesn't look real. They're so silly. Anyways, hi, we're back. And I am going to I've got like a reference up for this absolutely just silly little cry. I think I also I can fix the placement of that wing a smidge, I think. It's kind of like there's a little bit of a sort of, it looks like it's got a little, it's feathers, but it makes it look like it's got a little shoulder just there. But I'll give it a little, I'll pop a little sparkle on its eye so it looks a little more, less crazy. And see if I can do this beak justice. The beak is giving me trouble. The beaks seem to be the source of the most trouble with these bad boys. Because it's kind of just, it's quite flat, actually. But not quite. They are very tiny little looking beaks. Not super big beaks. I don't like the angle of that. It's not quite. The thing is, like, I think generally my brand tends toward the cute. And yet even then I feel like some things are so cute that I'm going to struggle to capture just how dang cute they are. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh my god, it looks so derpy. I gotta fix it. I mean, obviously, like, all of these are gonna look better when they're colored in, is the thing. But still, I want to start from a place that isn't. I feel like the eye was set a little bit too forward. Okay. That is generally, I think, the shape of its head, but can I get maybe a little bit more curvature? Sort of like this of the tummy. And the genuinely, like, I squeezed this in right next to the, like, American Robin's foot to the point that I'm wondering if I can just pull the head in slightly here so that they're not actually touching. Okay. I'm stopping. I'm stopping with that sketch. We've got 4 birds on the canvas. That's good enough. Ah! I accidentally made the wrong screen go full screen and I couldn't see chat for a second, so thank you all for behaving. Also, I have dropped my paintbrush on the floor. Oh no! Heck! Okay, got it. Okay, we're back. We're back. Sorry. That was a mess. Anyways, how was everyone's break? I hope it was fine. I remain fine. And now I'm going to attempt to very watercolorly paint in the yellow plumage. I'm going to grab my palette thingy. Gonna paint in the yellow plumage of the collared bush robin. I'm watering it down quite a bit because I'll be honest, like I just think that these feathers look very painterly, so I want to try and give a painterly appearance to. So whereabouts does this color begin? It's kind of, some of this is going to get painted over with the like orange stuff, which is fine. But I'll just start with a fairly light coating of yellow. Because I'm going to want to add texture and stuff on top of this as well. So it's okay if it's a little bit pale to begin with, because it'll get filled in. But also, oh my goodness, can you believe to learn? We're just over an hour in and I've actually painted something. Amazing. Anyways, I hope everybody had a good weekend. How were your weekends? What'd you get up to? I had initially planned to go to our city's like local Christmas market on the Friday after stream, but the weather was so nasty. It was so nasty that we decided that it would probably be safer for me to just like run into town, pick up my prescriptions, and then get the hell out of Dodge. Because it was just a deeply unpleasant time weather-wise. And indeed, as I was on the bus home, it was absolutely tipping it down, which would have been supremely unfun to try and walk through a beautifully illuminated Christmas market. So yeah, made the right call not going to that, but was still, a little disappointed that I didn't get to. But so it goes. Anyways, okay, so I think that's it for yellow things for these birds in particular. So, I'm gonna move on to, orangey things. Now this is another thing. Robin, I have a sneaking, because, robin is known as, like, the red-breasted robin, right? But, I assume that the name red-breasted robin predates the advent of, like, the concept of orange as a separate color in English language color wording. Because there wasn't always, like, it's one of those things that we think of as, like, color is one of those things that feels in your brain like an immutable concept, like this is orange. But there was a time when English didn't have a word for orange. So it would have just been like a yellowy red or a reddy yellow. You know what I mean? Anyways, so it goes. And I mean, technically, the colors of the rainbow supposedly are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. But whoever calls the last two indigo and violet, it's just blue and then purple, right? Like, so, la-di-da. Anyways, hi, Fox. Welcome in. Fox says, robins are a festive bird in the UK and Ireland. Oh, yeah, we had a lore dump earlier, but I'm here for more lore. They do not migrate. Indeed, they are resident here, and their red breasts stand out in the winter cold. There are many myths to link them with Christianity, but the common sense is their vibrancy in winter. Yeah, it makes the most sense. Sometimes I think some of these things are, like, sort of backwards interpreted to give reasons for things that we don't actually know. I go through this a lot when I do my deep dives for videos. I have a YouTube channel, by the way, where I do deep dives for videos. My next one is going to be about, specifically cream. which sounds boring, and maybe it is, but I had a fun time researching it anyways. Yeah, the North American robin is not a true robin. The North American robin was named after the European robin. So there you go. The redder the breast, the more vicious the robin, because they've lived longer. Oh, biddle boy. I love them all. Anyways, but my favorite robin of all, if I had to pick a favorite, and I am picking a favorite because I can, is probably the... What the... No, what are you doing? Just search that. Don't just show me my search history. Just search for the thing. This is my favorite robin. And I think you'll see why in just a second. Do you love them? Because I love them. This is the black robin. They're from New Zealand. Specifically Chatham Island in New Zealand. They are a very good robin. And they are one of my favorites. It looks very similar in shape and stuff to the European robin. But it's goth as heck. Which I absolutely adore. Anyways. You ever see my favorite you have a favorite magpie, says Fox? What magpie is your favorite magpie? I would love to know. I have done magpie fan art, if you can call it fan art if it's art of just birds. There are also, I believe, 2 different types of magpie robins. There is a magpie robin in Asia and also a Madagascan magpie robin, if memory serves. Memory may not be serving, but anyways. there's more than one magpie robin. And I think they're cool. But the Javan green magpie, let's go have a look. Let's go have a look at the Javan green magpie. Hell yeah. Okay. Because I can. I do love them. Oh, hello, beautiful. Oh, they're so cute. They're so cute. Y'all. This is a friend, if ever I did see one. Look at him. Hello? That is friend-shaped. That is so very friend-shaped. I want to befriend this bird. Not many corvids are colorful, but that is a beauty right there. They are absolutely stunning. Love it. The green coloring comes from their diet. Babies are blue. Wow. Wow. That's kind of like, that reminds me of every single time. So I have my, kitchen utensils, by and large, are red or gray. And if I ever make the excellent decision of cooking with turmeric, which I do regularly because it's delicious and very healthy, my poor, gray slotted spoon will just turn this absolutely horrific color. Because gray plus turmeric yellow is not a winning color combination. It's nasty. That magpie has such Poirot vibes. I love it, says Luna. Oh my god, I want to watch a TV show about specifically that magpie solving mysteries. I would like to see it. One of the first images on the Wikipedia page shows parents and a baby. Oh. Wait. I have to go to the Wikipedia page now. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness gracious. It's unlikely I'll ever see one in the wild because I do not expect I'll be visiting Indonesia anytime soon. Oh my god, they're so cute. But with that being said, I do there is quite a lot of Indonesian food I enjoy. Fried rice. I like a nasi goreng situation. Anyways, so here they are. What a beautiful family portrait. They're so cute. Oh my god, they're so cute. Stop it. They're too cute. I can't even. The babies are very cute. Anyways, how are you? Thank you for the bird information. I appreciate receiving it. Anywho's, I'm gonna whip us up a nice. I'm trying to decide which shade I should use for, because I've got this orange, and then I've got this, which is like a reddish orange. But I think for the North American robin, I think I want this. It's showing up yellower on the monitor, but it is a nice sort of a vibrant pumpkin, I would say, which I think will work well for this Burbs Tum Tum. So I might actually, you know what, this brush is too small for that. I think I can move on to using a larger brush for some of the larger bits of, if I can find my large brush, or, you know, like my medium size. I know you're in here. Where did you go? No, it's hiding from me. I know lots about burbs, especially corvids. Hell yeah, you're in good company. I am a burb enjoyer, though a portion of my burb knowledge is just, I just think they're neat. Oh, come on. Come on.
Attention,
Twitch user Sammy Kelch.
shoppers.
Sammy Ann, hello, and thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. Hello, it's lovely to see you. Dragon Raid. I did pop in for a little lurky earlier, a cheeky little hide in the bushes and check out what you were up to while I was lamentably working on stuff. But hi, it's lovely to see you. How was your stream? What'd you get up to? Welcome in. Hello, Raiders. For anyone who's new here, my name's Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I'm going to shout out Sammy Ann while I talk, and hopefully I'll be able to do both at the same time. There we go. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and most Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays and every once in a while on a Thursday if I'm feeling extra crispy. And you know what? We might be feeling extra crispy this week. I'm kind of feeling it. We might be playing a video game this Thursday art stream because I haven't done it in a while. I think it might be nice. Anyways, but today I'm painting 4 different species of robin. And I'm very excited. It looks so fake, but it's genuinely this shape, I swear. They are spherical. Anyways. But yes, we are working on the Dragon Miss Dragon's gift dragon front, and it was very, very cute. As always, Sammy Ann. This is an art tax optional stream. If there is anything you would like to share, we would love to see your contributions. If you would whisper a link in my direction, whether it's what you were working on or your socials or whatever. But if you do not feel so inclined, if you just want to dip or you just want to hang or whatever, it's all good, entirely up to you. But you're more than welcome regardless. Thursday is a Resident Evil stream. Did I hear that right? Oh, Dan, you would not catch me in a million years. In a million years playing Resident Evil. I watched someone playing it one time and I got too scared and I had to switch it off. So, no. Anyways. Hello also to Kindred and to Lugia. Welcome in, everybody. Hello. And thank you. And hello, Pigeon. Welcome in. Those robins are little orbs. It true they are. They are not. They are bird orbs. They're borbs. I can share the Dragon Gingerbread Buddy. We'll save the gifty for when it's further along. Ooh, absolutely do. You know where to send me a link. I would love to share it. Fox says, I've reached my bird watching era, apparently. If I see a bird and either I don't know it or don't know enough about it, I go into a Google food deep dive. Which is why I know that European herring gulls recognize faces, and in under 2 years, they are dappled brown. Oh! Love a dappled brown situation. That's really, really, really stinking cute. Oh goodness, the day I saw, how do I word this so I don't get dinged by TOS? The day I saw, I'm wording this very carefully, a pair of coal tits, which are birds, in the big tree outside my house, while I was on my way out to the bus. It was a magical day. It was a magical, wonderful day, and it made me very happy to get to see them. Anyways, for anyone who's new here, I'm a traditional artist working in watercolors today, specifically Gansai, which is a Japanese style of watercolor. And these are 4 robins that I am painting today. This is a European robin, this is a North American robin, this is a collared bush robin, and this is an Australian pink robin. Or they will be when I'm done with them. This is only 4 robins. There are about a gazillion different species of robin, and I narrowed it down to 16 that I will be painting for, I don't know, possibly a big art print of just here's a bunch of robins that exist in the world, and their relative sort of like resident territories, and maybe also a sticker sheet. I don't know. But yes, I've sent the dragon. Hell yeah, they're painted in watercolor and tea and coffee. Ooh, tea and coffee. That is delicious and very exciting. I can't wait to see it. Oh yeah, Sammy Ann is also very creative with her artistic media, and I think it's so super cool. Those particular type of birds are my favorite, says Luna. I just love birds. I just love them. I love them so much. Robins are fabulous and diverse. Love them, says Sammy Ann. They are incredible, and I had such a good time going on just the most ridiculous deep dive into them yesterday to get inspiration and to try and whittle down which birds I actually was going to paint. It's been a fun time. Anyways, pulling up a link to Gammon. Yippee! It worked. Okay. Oh, bless! This is gorgeous. I'm gonna zoom us in a little bit so you can get a really good look at. I love this. It's so cute. It's so cute. This is 100% my jam. I adore this dragon. Look at them. They're so cozy, with like the frosting scale details and their little like the little like gemstony scaly, spiny, like gumdrops. This is so cute. This is so creative. I love the idea of a gingerbread dragon. I absolutely love the idea of a gingerbread dragon. If I ever run a D&D campaign, I want there to be gingerbread dragons in it. This is gorgeous. Once again, if you're not following Sammy Ann, please go do that, because Sammy Ann does amazing work, and it's so nice to see. If you like whimsy, the snack that bites back. I wouldn't dare take a bite out of this gingerbread. They're too cute. I love it. And I love that tea and coffee was deployed in the painting of it as well. That's so good. I love that you do that. Yummy, says Joe. I know. It looks too delicious, but I wouldn't dare try and snack on them. Anyways. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So it's Robin time today though. So I think I was just gathering some a nice base orange for our North American friendos tummy. I need to be bullied into doing more art. Fox, please do more art. Fox, I love your art. I think it's wonderful. I want you to like honor your like energy reserves and that kind of thing. But if you have the spoons and the wherewithal to do so, please make more art. We love seeing it. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that you enjoy making it. So, you know. Especially when I'm on break from work. Yeah, do it! Do it. Do it. Anyways. Yes, please make more art. We would love to see it. Alright, Wizard, this bobbin now has a tum-tum. I hope you like it. I hope it is cute. Does it look any more like a robin yet? I feel like it still looks like a seagull, even though, like, I can verifiably see that it's robin-shaped. I think it's just because it's white and then the beak is yellow. I think this feeling will pass once I've painted more of it like a dark brown. But for now, I feel like I'm losing what little I have of my mubbles. My marbles are all gone. Anyways, trust the process, says Fox. I'm trying. I am trying to trust. Trust is so important in the process, but I'm not always. This is the North American buddy. This is the European namesake. This is the collared bush robin from Taiwan, and this is the Australian pink robin, or it will be. But on my list of things to paint, I also have the white-starred robin. I have the orange-breasted forest robin. I have the lesser ground robin. I have the New Zealand South Island robin. I have I'm forgetting them all. Oh no, I have the black robin, of course. Trust the processes, Pigeon. Hell yeah. And I shall trust the process right into painting the tummy of our European bobbin. And it is true. Okay. I just went to look up a reference for the European robin. And do you want to know what I typed in, chat? I'm going to type in chat what I typed into chat into look for the European bobbin. I need to relearn to speak correctly. Because I nearly just went searching for European bobbins. Which is not what I'm looking for. I'm just special. Bobbin. But that's the thing. When I see a robin out in the wild, and in the wild I mean like, flying into a tree or hopping along the pavement in, the place where I live, I say, hello, bobbin. So there you go. It's after 6 p.m. brain shutdown time. This is true. My brain will be porridge between roughly now and until about 11 p.m., at which point I will become the most eloquent and literarily minded I have ever been in my entire life, and feel extremely moved to open up at least 5 of my drafts and start writing some of the most beautiful prose I've ever created. Because it's bedtime. And that's when my brain wakes up. The amount of... Okay, I'm not gonna show you long enough that you can actually read any of this because it's embarrassing because none of it's been edited. But, this is like a small number of the drafts that I type up on my phone just before I'm about to fall asleep so that I can poke them into a Word document or wherever I'm storing my docs the next time I'm awake enough to have my computer on. So there you go. It is not porridge, it is open to creativity, says Sammy. And yeah, I will say sometimes I wonder if the reason that I'm able to, like, write and do more creatively, like, after 11 p.m. is just that, like, my inhibitions are down a little bit, and I'm not self-censoring all of the ideas I have and being like, no, that's stupid, before I actually have a chance to write it down. That there's a very real possibility that that's what's going on. Fox says, okay, I gotta figure out dinner, but don't forgore about, Christmas card address. Yes, it's, don't dox yourself. Anyways, I will message you, on the Discords later. Thank you so much for that as well. But yeah, just before bedtime is where so many of my good ideas happen. I've got, listen, if it was still airing, I'd have so many amazing episode ideas for Deep Space Nine that I would be pitching to them. They're all very good. At least I think they're good, but then on the other hand, with my special interests, I think at one point I was like, okay, realistically, what would the title be of the paper that they would publish based on their findings of this, this plant that they found on a planet that may have, like, medicinal applications for this, that, and the other. And I just wrote what the title would be for, sort of an academic research paper on, like, clinical research. I don't think anyone cares about that, but hey, it may be technobabble, but I want my technobabble to read accurately if anyone who's a clinical researcher reads it and is like, yeah, that is what our papers sound like. And there are parts of my life that are just adjacent enough to clinical research that I'm like, I read a lot of these. Anyways, have a lovely dinner, Fox. And, 3 a.m. says Sammy, yeah, I try not to be awake at 3 a.m. And to be honest, most of my thoughts at 3 a.m. are, do I really need to pee or can I just fall back asleep? And the answer is, like, go piss, girl. A, you will not fall back asleep until you get up and go have a loo break. And B, if you did fall back asleep before you went and had a loo break, you might be waking up for other reasons a few hours later. Oh no. Anyways. That's one of my least favorite things. Is when you're really tired, but you gotta pee. It just doesn't seem fair. It just doesn't seem fair. Like, come on. Anyways. Okay. Incidentally, I don't have music playing on the stream, as you know, so that, like, because I never know what kind of music people want to hear. I can't hear any of the music that would be played on stream because I don't have headphones on. And, I think it's nice if you want music, you can just put on your own music and it can be whatever music you're into and it can be copyrighted music that I wouldn't be allowed to play on stream, that kind of thing. Yes, as a person with a scarred bladder, always go to the bathroom when you need. 100%. 100%. Don't hold your pee if you don't have to. That's also how you get infections. I remember I used to struggle with it, and I still struggle with this sometimes when you're traveling, you know, and it's like, okay, I'm going to be traveling a lot today, so I want to make sure that I don't need to pee when, like, there's when I'm not going to have access to the loo. But also, I'm very aware of the fact that I'm going to feel like absolute dog poop tomorrow if I don't hydrate enough. So I find myself being like, okay, I'm going to have, you know, I'm going to be at a station or something where there's going to be a loo in like an hour. So I'm just going to chug sports drink now so that I can pee when I get there. That kind of thing. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'll stop talking about pee. This isn't fun. Anyways. How was everyone's weekends? Did you have a nice time? I got a little bit of sewing done. I was very happy about that. And I didn't get to go to the Christmas market. I was sad about that. But I think I am more or less done my Christmas gift shopping, and I'm very pleased about that. So, swingits and roundabouties, I suppose. I feel like this orange is a little bit not quite orange enough, but the other orange is a little bit too bright. So I'm picking up a little bit of this orange, and I'm adding it to this orange until I get sort of an orange between the two. And then we'll be adequately orange. Anyways, Luna says, it's so lovely to have a driver who's always happy to stop at services when I need because it's such a contrast to when I was a kid. Oh, man. Seriously. I feel that. Okay. Okay, this bird honestly looks like they forgot their brain cell at home today. They look very, you know, not all robins look like this, I don't think, but this one looks very no thoughts, head empty at the moment. That may change as we paint it in, but at the moment it looks very, very no thoughts, head empty. And that's all right, because some of us are. Sometimes I am. Okay. And again, it's all right if the color we start out with here is a little bit pale, because it will get shading and texture and other stuff as we go. But in the meantime, let's see, whereabouts does it go to? I guess to about here. Kinda like that. Anyways, oh yeah, I was talking about there's no music on stream, but I do have music stuck in my head, but the music that's stuck in my head is it's ever so festive. It's like, It's like very much like festive stock music that's just playing in my head. The kinds of ones that like every Christmas themed music, not music video, every Christmas themed music, every Christmas themed YouTube video that is drawing from like the same music libraries. And I know this because I used Christmas music from a music library in one of my YouTube videos. You start to notice it's like, oh, this person has an Epidemic Sound subscription. Ah, that's a YouTube music library classic. I'm so sorry that it's been so long since my last YouTube upload, by the way. I am trying really hard to get something out fairly soon. But I've just been many and various grades of unwell for the last several months, and it's been very hard to predict. And then now that it's like the middle of winter, there's like very little time where I can actually film before it becomes way too dark, and it's hard to get good lighting in here. It's really hard to get good lighting in here. If you watched my 50-minute video about tea bags, you know that it's very hard to get good lighting in here. It was a fucking nightmare. And unfortunately, having a good lighting setup is kind of expensive. It's kind of expensive, and my channel has no budget because it's not monetized because I'm not popular enough, so, you know. So it goes. But please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not. I don't upload very often, so you won't be bothered by me very much. But every once in a while, a rando does find one of my videos and leaves an angry comment. And guess, you know what happens when you leave an angry comment on my videos? I delete them. Yep. I've seen some debate about this, because I was curious. I think I talked about this a few weeks ago on stream, but I made a very polite, nice comment on someone's YouTube video, and someone replied to me in just, like, the rudest way possible. And I did try and respond to whatever their question was in earnest in the first instance, because, you know, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and assume that they're not deliberately being rude. That might just be the way they express themselves, right? No, turns out this person was just a bag of dicks. And just wanted to be antagonistic and, like, a crap bag, and totally thinks that they, like, owned me with their, like, oh, ho, ho, ho. It's like, no, you look like a loser is what you look like. You sound like a loser. So, congratulations. It's embarrassing that you think it's cool to, like, pick fights with people in the comment section of a linguistics video on YouTube. Like, that's loser behavior. I'm sorry. But, I did note that, like, it was not a big channel, but they have, like, a few thousand subscribers, I think. But I did note that, like, and there was a fairly small number of comments on that video. And, you know, like, the video creator could very well have stepped in and, like, deleted the genuinely just kind of being a bully comments in their comment section, and just decided not to, which feels bad. Like, it makes me not want to hang out in your space if I feel like I'm just gonna get bullied in the comments, you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between bullying and just like, hey, I disagree with this, or I had a different experience, or even, you know, like, hey, this, like, here's how this video could have been done better, like, something like this. There's a difference, right? I've kept negative comments around, says Sammy Ann, just to remind me that we can all have a difference of opinions. Oh, absolutely. Like, if someone just has a difference of opinion, that's totally fine. The response to that is, like, neat. Thank you for sharing your perspective, you know what I mean? Even if I don't agree with you, like, whatever, that's fine. But then there's a difference between that and, like, openly anti-immigrant sentiment, which is bad. And you can just delete those. Yeah, Sammy Ann says, if they're super toxic or harmful to other people, I do delete them. Yes, exactly, yes. And I think if as a creator you're willing to just leave that stuff up there because you don't want to be seen as like, oh, you know, I delete comments. But it's like, no, there is stuff you absolutely can delete. I had someone I had someone comment on a video in which I made a suet, like a steamed suet pudding. And I was using veg suet because I don't eat meats. So I wasn't going to use meat fat, but the vegetable suet functions exactly the same in like baked goods and stuff. So I used vegetable suet, and I deleted this person's comment because they said something along the lines of I stopped watching after I saw that you were using vegetable suet because seed oil is poison and you should be eating lard because I've eaten lard every day for my whole life and I'm fine. Blah, 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 seed oils are poison. And I recognize that seed oils are poison is one of those basically like crunchy to fascist pipeline argument points. And also, no, actually, lard is super bad for me because I have mildly raised cholesterol, according to my doctor, and I should not be consuming animal fats because they're too saturated, so go away. Anyways, so, you know, like, I deleted that comment because I don't want other people to see it and be like, yeah, seed oil is poison, because that's, like... that's just potentially harmful misinformation, and, like, you know, getting into, like, conspiracy theory, like, crunchy health nonsense, which, I am not here to encourage, and I'm also not interested in having arguments with people who, like, believe that, or clapping back at them or whatever, because life is too short, and there's no point. Like, oh, wow, I owned that person. Like, no, I don't care. I could just get rid of it. I have the power to delete that comment, so I'm just gonna delete that comment. And that's what I did. Goodbye. Anyways. Oh my god, what? Sammy Ann said I had one person to say my style is terrible. No! That's mean and untrue. I didn't take the bait because I feel that that's what it was. That absolutely, that's bait. That's bait right there. That's a load of nonsense. Your style is beautiful, and I recognize that, like, artistic style of any kind is subjective, and I'm very aware, for instance, that not everyone's gonna like the way that I paint birds, and that's okay. Like, that's fine. But, you know, you could just also not say that. You could just not say that. That would be cool. Anyways, Sammy Ann says, I remember that comment from your YouTube. I was happy you swept that one away. Yeah, this is stupid. That was just stupid. But also, may well have been a bot. I don't know. It seemed like it was an actual person, but also, like, a stupid actual person. It's like the people... Oh, God, there was a comment someone made about how they don't believe in pasteurized milk. They believe in drinking raw milk, which we know is, like, don't... Raw milk cheese is one thing. Drinking just, like, unpasteurized milk is another. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. The chances that you're gonna get some kind of sick is extremely high. It is teeming with bacteria that is really easy to get rid of. So you should just do that, okay? Okay. Anyways, but this person was saying, like, I've always drank raw milk and it's absolutely fine. I mean, obviously we boil it before we drink it, but it's like... It's not... It's not raw then, it's cooked. Congratulations, you pasteurized your milk. Like, you just... What do you think pasteurization is? Did you not have science class? Pasteurization is when you take milk and you heat it up to a certain temperature, hold it at that temperature for a period of time, and then cool it again. Which kills almost all of the pathogens, bacteria, and other bad stuff that's otherwise going to be present in your milk. Like E. coli and stuff. Listeria, that's a good one. And there are different methods of pasteurization, different, like, temperatures and amounts of time that they need to be held at that temperature in order to kill the pathogens, but, you know, they're all pretty effective. You just... So saying that, like, oh, you know, like, I don't believe in pasteurized milk, I only drink raw milk. But of course, you know, like, we always boil it when we get it home. It's like, you're just paying extra to pasteurize your own milk. I mean, I'm glad you're doing that because you're less likely to give your kids a horrible listeria infection, but, like, That's what you're doing. You could just go to Safeway and just buy a jug of milk then. Oh my god. Pigeon says, gotta love people claiming things are poison when they didn't graduate high school. Yes, absolutely. It's just the absolute conviction of people who do not care to educate themselves is really something sometimes. And I say this as a person who exists in real life. Therefore, I don't know everything. I have blind spots. I have gaps in knowledge. Before the stream started, I didn't know the significance of the European robin as an emblem of Christmas. I have learned this now. And I think it's cool. I like that in the Victorian period they were often depicted on post boxes because postmen would wear little, like, red coats and stuff to deliver the post. Therefore, the red-coated robin. Cute. Adorable. And also because they hang around in winter. That is heckin' adorbs. I love it. I didn't know that before stream started. I'm not going to pretend that I did. Sammy Ann says, Louis Pasteur did not boil milk for you to ignore his contribution to science. I agree. Absolutely agree. Good old Milky Louis, says Pigeon. Oh, speaking of Pigeon, you've just reminded me. Does anyone else here play Animal Crossing New Horizons? And does anyone else have had this question when you go to Brewster's Cafe? The connection will make sense in a second. I'm connecting the dots here, and that is if you go to Brewster's Cafe, Brewster is a pigeon who also owns this beautiful little Kissaten style cafe in Animal Crossing New Horizons in your museum. It's very, very cute. I love Brewster. He's one of my favorites. He's a very soft-spoken bird, but man, he makes a damn fine cup of coffee. But every once in a while, he will ask, when he pours your nice cup of coffee, which he brewed on a siphon filter, which is so cool. I want one so bad, and I cannot justify it because they are very fiddly and very expensive. I think it's in the 3 figures to buy a siphon brewer, and realistically, if I had a siphon brewer in my kitchen, I would just at some point knock it over and break it because it also involves a lot of glass. Anywho, every once in a while, he will pour you a delicious filter coffee made using his siphon brewer, and then he will say, do you want pigeon milk in that? And you can say yes or no. I have questions about what makes it pigeon milk. Because first of all, as far as I know, pigeons, because they're not mammals, and therefore they do not have mammaries, do not produce milk. So I assume that it's not milk that's being, like, expressed from a pigeon's bosom. Therefore, what makes it pigeon milk? Is it just like cow's milk or almond milk or oat milk or something that happens to be particularly popular with pigeons? Is it, has it just been like, is it specifically like a facility where, like, some 80-year-old pigeon grannies all gather together and take bird seed, grind it up with a lot of water and then pass it through a nut milk bag and produce, sort of like some sort of seed milk. Like you can get sesame seed milk or whatever, using the kind of seeds that pigeons like to eat. I don't know. Sammy Ann says, yeah, it's a question I've got and I worry about where it's coming from. Oh god, no, Pigeon, no! Pigeon, no! Pigeon says pigeon milk is a thing they created in their throat. Sammy Ann says this doesn't help, but the more you know. Yippee! Well, I'm gonna keep saying yes to pigeon milk because I don't want to offend him, but... Oh, good! Well, I'm glad I'm drinking a tea then. Tastes like delicious, delicious eucalyptus. I'm also going to take a sip of my mint tea, because why not? But thank you, Pigeon. We are learning we're not painting a lot, but we're learning a lot today, so I hope that's fun. Sammy Ann says, I have learned something today. I'm going to go have some lunch now. Have a lovely lunch, and thank you again for the raid a while ago. And to everyone who just learned the truth about pigeon milk, I'm sorry? I'm so sorry. But also, that's really cool. Okay, can we get one more thing done? Can we get one more piece of this art done before we move on to our next break? I think we can. Specifically, let's take a look at this Australian pink robin. which, damn, like, the tummy on this, if the tummy on this is so pink that it will not display as it looks in. I'm gonna need to pull up the image of the pink robin on here, because it is so bright. Oh, what is the oh god, the resolution on this is freaking huge. And when I say huge, you'll see what I mean in a second. But the pink robin is not kidding. Oh, geez. The pink robin is not kidding about how pink the pink robin is. For legal reasons, I do not drink pigeon milk, says Pigeon. That, I did not assume that you did. But thank you for the assurance. Anyways, look at how pink. Look at how pink this beautiful pink plumage is. It's so fluffy and it's so pink. That's almost beyond pink. That's pank, you know? This is a very pink robin. So that's what I'm going to try and create now, but I'm realizing that I have this red and I have this sort of reddish violet, and I feel like if I combine the two, I might get something that's a nice bright pink, but I do also have a third Gansai palette that I think might have a more suitable, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, my virus and threat protection decided to pop up with a summary to tell me that my computer is fine. Thanks! Anyways, happy Monday, Ernesto. Welcome in. I hope you are well. I'm going to see if I have a somewhat more appropriate shade of pink in my other palette. I'm just popping to the other side of the studio, which is ever so far away that you'll never be able to see or hear. Oh, jeez, and here we are. I'm back. Hi. This is the 1980s palette, and I do have this, which is pretty darn pank. I think it'll be a better bet to use that than it would be to use like a combination of these two. I think using the bright pink will probably turn out better. So I guess I'm using the 1980s palette as well, which generally, if you can see, the color distribution on this palette is bizarre. So I don't use it super often, except it's because it has this beautiful, like, this nice, like, soft pink and this nice soft blue. If we ignore the orange that the camera does not know how to read correctly, because this color is insane. This color is genuinely, I don't know how to describe this orange to you. The camera cannot read it. It does not look like this. This color feels like your eyes shouldn't be like, when you look at it in real life, it feels slightly uncanny. It's so vibrant, it feels like it shouldn't exist. Like, I shouldn't be able to see something that looks like that. And the camera does not know how to register it. But anyways, I find this palette very useful for its nice, soft pink and its nice, soft blue, because these are perfect. And I'm sure you can guess where I'm going with this. These two are perfect for any time you want to do a trans pride themed anything, because they are the perfect pink and blue for the trans pride flag. So that's my favorite use for this palette, is specifically these two for trans pride. Because, we love trans pride. Hell yeah. Anyways. Oh, good. An ad is coming warning has just popped up. Oh, grand. Okay, my timing is impeccable. Absolutely impeccable. Well, in any case, what I can do, maybe, is just to drop a little bit of water onto this, pan of Gansai, and just drop a little bit onto my palette, and then see how I feel about it as a possible pink. Maybe if I blend this out with a little bit of the trans pride pink. Actually, no, I think I'll just be very, very deliberately transparent with this pink. And I think that'll work, because it wants to be vibrant, but it doesn't want to be dark. It's bright, but it's not dark, if that makes sense. But I don't want to go like neon pink, because that's going to be a little too sort of uncanny, as it were, I think. How does this, what if I just, I want to swatch this out. I don't have any, like, scrap paper, though, I don't think. I don't have any scrap. Okay, I'm gonna swatch it out on the back of this swatch card. Perchance. See, how do I feel about it? I feel like this pink is ever so slightly too cool, actually. I feel like it could be I could warm it up slightly. So what I might do is just add, like, just a swipe of this red to warm it, but not to, like, super change it. Let me try that again. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that's such a pretty pink. Okay, so I've got a minute before ads run, so I'm not going to do it now. Also, once again, I don't know how to get you to see what this color actually looks like in real life. It is less yellow of an orange in real life, and it is, again, I don't know how to describe it other than it is so bright that it doesn't look like you should be able to look at it at all. Like, my eyes are going buggy looking at it. It's so vibrant, it feels like it shouldn't be able to exist. It sounds so weird. You just have to take my word for it, because it will not photograph correctly. I'm wondering if I can, okay, I'm going to try and take a photo of it with my phone and see whether or not just, like, my phone's camera picks it up better. But again, it might not. It's one of those colors that I think it just, like, I think that in general, it's just a struggle to get it to pick up. No, get off of selfie mode. Okay. I'm going to try and take a photo of it, and then try and get the photo up so that I can share the photo. But again, it's still, that's closer, but it's still not getting, like, the weird way it makes your eyes feel. I don't know how to explain it. It's crazy. Anyway, ads are just about to run, so I'm going to take off for a minute, have a drink, have a stretch. I'll see you right. Oh, shoot, ads are running. Okay, BRB. Yay, ads are done. Hi, everybody. I'm back. Welcome back, friends. Sorry about that, but we have returned. And I can hopefully show you, this is just, it's bizarre. It's just bizarre. Like, this is demonstrating, I think, to a certain extent how bright the orange is, but it's completely misinterpreting the color. Whereas everything else color-wise on screen right now is pretty close to what it looks like in real life, except this. This camera does not know how to cope with. Let me just pull up no, I don't want to open the Xbox app. Go away. Let me just pull up for you what I tried to take a photo of it with my phone, and here's how my phone interpreted this color. Once again, here's what it looks like on webcam, which is inaccurate. And here's what it looks like on phone photo, which in terms of tone, like in terms of, like, the actual shade of the color, much more, like, accurate, but it has absolutely killed the insane eye-watering vibrancy of it. Compared to here, which I think demonstrates how absurdly bright it is, but gets the color totally wrong. Like, they look like completely different things. I don't know how to show you what this color actually looks like, because neither of these are accurate. Wild. Just, like, what? Ugh. I think there are certain places on the spectrum that I think a lot of cameras have a real hard time with, and I think this is just one of them that, yeah. I have some actual, like, fluorescent inks that I don't use super often, and part of the reason that I don't use them super often, especially not on stream, is that they just do not translate onto stream, like, at all. They just look wrong and bad compared to the way that they look in real life, which is a really odd, strange, odd, bizarre experience. The delineation between the pink bit of this robin and the not pink bit of this robin is very, there's, like, no fade between the two, effectively. It's just, there's kind of a line, and its tummy is pink, and its head is, like, a sort of dark, sort of slate gray color, and that's it. There's no, like, gradient between the two. It's just... This orb has a pink tum-tum. And that's it. So I'm attempting to capture that here. Alright. Wizard. That is a pink tummy. Hooray. We're getting there with these bad boys. We are getting there. Hooray. Good job, me. Now, there is actually... Ah, shoot. I forgot there is actually another instance of orange that I need to try and put in here. Which is the collared bush robin, which is over here. So I will try and add its orangey section, which does gradient, at least in sort of the front, more. So I just pulled up a reference on my phone so that I can see what the heck I'm doing. They look like this, and they're so cute, and I love them. They're so stinking cute. Anyways, I don't know why I had to do that voice about it, but here we are. But yes, I will, I think, take some of the orange out of the 1940s. I think it's the 1940s palette for that. And actually, do I want to make it a little bit, add a little bit of a hair's breadth of red to that? Because it is quite a vibrant orange, but not as vibrant as the orange, which is colloquially known as Prang. Which is like orange +1. It's not quite, we're not quite looking at Prang territory because typically I would say you can look at the collared bush robin of Taiwan and not have like your eyes melt out of your head. As genuinely, I should have been wearing protective eyewear to look at the Prang color. Anyways, what are y'all up to this week coming? I hope you have an exciting and fun and interesting week ahead. What am I doing this week, actually? Am I doing anything? That's a good question. I don't think I'm doing anything too terribly out of the ordinary. I'm going to be working on some artworks, of course. There's some little patches of orange sort of hiding in there as well. So I'll pop those in. Some of this might get painted over when we get to it, but we'll see. Oh, it seems to vary from one to the other as to where this orange plumage turns up. So it depends on what we end up wanting to do with it. But I'm going to take my Titleist brush now and do a little bit, because this orange plumage does, I feel it, kind of fade into the yellow a little bit more, rather than being a perfectly just a perfect line. It does have a little bit of a sort of an element of a fade out into it. So let's try and do that a little bit. Ooh! Isn't she lovely? This bird genuinely, I think, is so cute. Here is an example that I pulled up on my phone so that I had a reference for the colors. I just love its like big eyebrow. I know it's not technically an eyebrow, but it looks like an eyebrow, and I think it's cool. Okay. I guess the next color that it makes sense to do probably is the sort of the European robin is a very soft brown. So I'm gonna see what do I have in my arsenal that would be appropriate hues for the European robin. It's just, oh my god, look at this. Look at the pose on this bird. There's something about this that just says like a Kermit the Frog level of earnestness in the pose of this bird, you know? This bird is asking, why are there so many songs about rainbows to me? I don't know why. They just have that vibe. Also, I don't know if it's cliche, but of course that song makes me cry. Of course that song makes me cry. Because I have a heart. Anyways. I do need to at some point start thinking about, I hate that I have to start. It feels like it's way too soon, but it's only like 2.5 weeks away. I need to start thinking about baking for the holidays. I have determined more or less that I want to try and some of these things are things that I'm going to be making gluten-free for the very first time. Some of them can just be inherently gluten-free because, like that's fine. One of them is these little biscuits called, they go by various names, but one of the names that they go by is griba. And you find variations upon them in various countries across North Africa and the Middle East. There is a version of them that is made with almonds and lemon that I made once a few years ago and absolutely adored, to the extent that I've been thinking about them ever since. And I think it should be relatively easy to recreate them in gluten-free form if I just swap out the semolina flour for polenta. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm very excited because I think it's going to be really good. They're so nice. They're so nice with like a cup of tea. Oh my god, they're so good. They're so good. Anyways, I love them very much. I like a lemony treat situation, and so I'm very excited for these. The other thing, my jam thumbprints. I make my jam thumbprint biscuits every single year. They're made with usually rye flour, but I'll probably be using buckwheat because rye has gluten, and technically I probably shouldn't be eating that much of it. But I can have. They work just as well with. That you don't really need gluten in this recipe, so like buckwheat flour works perfectly fine, and it'll give it a nice flavor and texture as well. Also includes an awful lot of almonds in it, but in this case we keep the skins on the almonds and you grind them in the food processor, so they are of various sizes of grind. You get some like fairly ground down almond, but also you get some little like chunks for crunch, and they're vegan, so it covers that, and there's no refined sugar in it, except I guess for the sugar that's in the jam, but there's no refined sugar in the biscuit dough in any case. And despite the fact that they're nominally on the healthier side for a biscuit, like everyone who's tried them has been like, they don't taste like they're good for you. And that is the goal. To make something that is just delicious and not delicious for something that's healthier, but just is delicious. So I love them for that. Okay, I think I'm gonna try some of this. This is a very dark brown, but I think I'm just gonna try and use like a very little bit of it for the plumage of this robin, because the robin's plumage is not very it's a very grayish, it's a very like light grayish brown, so it really doesn't want much in the way of color. I did just add a little plop of blue to it to kind of gray out the brown, actually, just a smidge more, but I do still want it to be brownish. It's not just fully gray, it is brownish, so that should be very nice and watery. I'm just gonna... How's that? Oh yeah, that's extremely nice and watery. And actually almost a little bit too gray. I'm gonna add a little bit more brown back. Never mind. Shh, it's fine. But how's the... Yeah, okay, that's pretty... That still could be a little bit browner, actually. Oh no. I made it too not brown enough. Did I ruin it today? No, where's all the brown gone? Where's the brown gone? It does need to be a little bit brown. I might just add a little bit of this other brown to it to make it a little bit browner, because now I feel like I didn't make it brown enough. Okay. This may take a moment's futzing. Sorry, everyone. There it is. That's the brown I'm looking for. Hooray! I don't even know if the difference is like visible on the camera, but it's visible to me, and it will be visible in the finished product. So it is important that I went through that in order to arrive at the right color. So crucially, It is the right color now, so hooray. Okay. Right, hello. Hello, little European bobbin. Let's start coloring you in. I mean, is it perfectly bang on the picture I'm looking at? No. But there is also a mild amount of natural variation from one bird to the next, so I'm not super concerned about that. And I think tis a plausible hue. Ergo, I'm happy with it. Also, you know, there's natural variations in plumage, and then there's also things to consider like lighting and that kind of thing affecting how it ends up looking. So, like, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. In any case, does it look way more like a robin now? I feel like we've definitely reached, like, yeah, this is absolutely a robin territory, and I'm happy with that. Now the underside, we also get a little bit of variation. The plumage is softer, and sometimes the tummy is almost... There are bits of the tummy that can be almost white, but it's very light. It's very pale. I'm gonna add a smidge of neutral tint and just water it right down. Like, this is... I don't know if you can't see, but this paint is homeopathic now. So that's perfetto. Okay, for blending into my robin's tummy. Okay. Well, ain't that just wizard? I dig it. Okay, I think the tail feathers again are more similar to what's happening up there, so I will grasp a little bit of that. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect yet, because obviously we're going to add in shading and details of like the plumage textures and all that later on. But that's a pretty good start, I think. Now, the North American robin, of course, is a whole other kettle of fish, a whole other kettle of species, a whole other kettle of scientific classification of bird. I would like to tell you something about the American robin. And I feel so bad because it is a beautiful creature. And yet, its scientific name, Turdus migratorius. Who decided it would be nice to name the American robin the Turdus migratorius? Like, that just doesn't sound... That sounds like the kind of insult that, like, a middle schooler would hurl at another middle schooler. They'd be like, hey, Turdus. You know? Like, that's not nice. Robin is nice. I'm glad that it got Robin. Robin is delightful and sweet. Does not deserve Turdus. Come on. Hey, be nice. Be nice to the bobbin. Honestly. Anyways, somewhat darker head, and then the plumage gets a little bit lighter, and it's once again kind of a grayish brown, but it's definitely sort of darker around the top. With some little white patches as well, I might add, though. So, I might take this, gray it out just a smidge. So I'm adding a little neutral tint to gray this out a smidge more than this guy, in fact, because it's definitely a grayish brown. It is a slightly deeper brown though. But let's start by filling it in, and then we'll go up to, but not including the head, because the head wants to be a little bit darker than the rest of the body. So we will do the head separately with slightly darker paint. Also, I can tell that this paintbrush is on its way out. Like, it is really not wanting to hold a point anymore. I think it's lost some bristles. I think it'll be dead soon, which is a shame, but unfortunately, brushes do have sometimes a bit of a limited shelf life. You can treat your brushes with as much respect as you can, and they will still eventually just die on you. And this brush has seen a lot of action over the last some time. So it's not really that surprising that it would be eventually getting ready to cark it. But it still makes me feel really sad because this brush has seen a lot of painting of things. And in fact, I think this brush was originally intended for like miniatures or like models and that kind of thing, because it is made by Humbrol. So I suspect I got it from my moderator / spouse. Don't tell him. Anyways, it's fine. Okay, I'm just gonna pick up like a ton. Just a nice thick amount of our dark brown from this palette, and I think that should probably be fine to just use as is. Looks good. Okay, Wizard, that is Robin's Head brown, if ever I did see one. Now once again, there are some little like white bits, so I'm gonna try and be mindful of leaving some white like streaks. Like just the underside of the chin, there's kind of some whiteness here. So I'll try and leave that, and then maybe just like a little stripe here. Pick up some more paint. And then I would say honestly the most significant area where there's white is that there's a little bit of white plumage just right on the eyes. Just right on the area around the eyes. So I'm having to be very careful not to fill that in. But the plumage on the beak is dark. Just sort of around the top of the beak and the bottom of the beak for that matter. It's dark. But there are definitely some white feathers kind of around the eyes. So I'm being very quiet and very careful because I don't want to F this up. Because if I F it up, it's going to be a lot harder to try and like add that back using white ink and not have it look crappy than it is to just get it done right in the first place, I suppose. Okay. But it is also a very small area, and it's not the full surround of the eye. There's bits of it that are sort of not. Okay, I think that ought to do it. I think that ought to do pretty well. And then I just added a little bit of sort of like feathery separation texture between the white bit sort of on the chin and the darker bit of the head. Yay! Finally, it no longer looks like a seagull. That took a while, but we got there. Hooray. Okay. And now I'm actually going to water it down quite a bit because I do want to just kind of have it fade in a little bit more to... If I can just get a little bit of a fade situation into this plumage, that would be super rad. And this plumage can actually be a little darker, so that's fine. I'll just fill in the whole wing, I guess. Wizard. And whilst I'm here, I'll just do another thin coat on the tail. Huzzah! We've made a bird. Yay! Yippee! I can't believe I have set myself the task of drawing 16 different robins. And we haven't even finished 4, and we're coming up to the end of the stream soon, because I've just seen what time it is. Oh, shoot. Oh, heck. Oh, no. Welp! So it goes. Can I wonder, do... this guy is a little bit more complicated color-wise. But I think I can get a good feel for the coloring of the pink robins. The rest of its body is basically all one color. And it's basically, if I take the blue from this palette and then add a smidge of neutral tint, because it's like a dark sort of slate, ever so slightly bluish gray, I would say. So I think this dark blue plus some neutral tint, which I happen to have a blob of on this canvas, and not on the canvas, on the palette anyways, so I might as well just bop them together. Just put them together, and then we should be good to go on that. Hooray! Okay, so I'm just gonna slap that on there. Ooh, this might almost be slightly too blue, but it is a very grayish blue, so that'll be fine. If I texture it all in like gray, I think they should balance each other out fairly well. So I think that'll be fine. So I'm not too worried anyways. Okay. Look at me getting stuff done. I'm like, I think I spent so much time dithering for the first like amount of stream that now I'm just like, okay, it's time to speed run. So I'm just slapping some color on. That's fine. But that oftentimes really encapsulates sort of the essence of the artistic process for me, is spending a lot of time dithering and not getting a lot done, and then just kind of like doing it all right at the end. That is fairly normal for me, so like it's fine. Okay. And this bird really is essentially just 2 colors. It's just a very dark gray and then an insanely pink tum-tum. That's it. Compare and contrast with something like the collared bush robin over here, which is quite complex. And in fact, I might want to take a closer look at some like good photos of it to really get a feel for like, is this blue? Is it gray? Is it black? What color are these feathers actually? I'm not sure. Anyways, but my head hurts, so I'm going to call it there for today. I'm going to thank you all for hanging out with me today. It's been very, very fun. Thank you for chilling. Thank you for lurking if you've been lurking. Thank you for raiding. For the raiders, thank you for raiding. And I will go send us to somebody else for a little while. Ooh, okay. I don't think I've rated this person in quite some time, but let me just make sure that they're not just about to finish, because I think they might have been on before I started, but some people just spend a lot longer on stream than I do, and that's alright. It does look like they're definitely in the middle of working on something, so they're not just about to finish, so let's go say hi! Let's go say hello. And I will drop a raid message in the chat. If I can remember what my raid message is. Ah! Anyway, I will be back on Thursday, possibly playing a game, or possibly streaming art again. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. So keep your eyes peeled for what it is I decide I'm going to do. I will try and inform... just some little ananas dropping in there. I will try and inform you if I make a decision that isn't a snap decision at the last minute. There's a raid message in the chat. Feel free to grab the raid message. If you have the emotes, feel free to grab it with the emotes. If you don't have the emotes, you can just say generic raid message and potentially append any cool emotes that you do have. It's all good. I'll be back on Thursday doing something. God only knows was what at this point, but I'll be doing something. But in the meantime, thank you so much for hanging out. I had a great time working on these birds, and I hope they're going to be real stinking cute when they're done. So thank you so much. I'll be back Thursday. Take care, everyone. Good night, and good luck.